What's up, folks? What's up, folks? Yeah, welcome to Zelda Speedruns 2. Welcome to the Z2R Max Rando tournament. We are in first round number 4, Jackimus versus Xarnax42. And without further ado, because we're good to go, let's dive into the action. Let's switch to the layout and let's say hi to the two comps, to Freako and to J-Cole and to Jinxie Girl. On tracking. Hey guys, what up?
Hello. It's 2 p.m. in some places, but it's too early for me here. It's noon in my land. But I'm looking forward to this race. It should be fantastic. How are you doing, Freako?
Oh, I'll let you know when I wake up. It's early in the morning for me. I work the night shifts now, so I'm used to waking up at much later.
Yeah, I do Uber driving, and I go out until bar close. So, I was up until at least 4 or something. But, yeah. But this is going to be a great race. These guys are both 1 and 2, and they are racing for the last spot in the bracket, I believe, which is kind of crazy because they're both very deserving of a spot in the bracket, but that's just kind of the way that things worked out this time. I think, Jack, you can blame it a lot on Rust, probably, because he hasn't really been racing much recently.
Well, every once in a while, you get a matchup and you go, all right, I'm going to take the L here, but, try to, bounce back. But then, Jackimus was up against Schmitty in the first round, lost by only a couple minutes.
Yeah, second fastest race of the tournament, and he lost by a couple minutes, so...
Although, but it looks like one of the longest races in the tournament in round 2 against Nightcrawler for Jackimus, which unfortunately also resulted in a loss. I do not have the round 3 results handy, so I can't look at them.
Yeah, Jack, he beat Flesh in round 3.
Xarnax took down Paratroopa in the first round, but then ended up going against Trails in round 2, which is not exactly the easiest of matchups. And since he's at 1 and 2, I can only assume round 3 does not go out.
We got a lot of stuff to cover. 5 gems, so we're going to be beating most of the palaces. Life, Thunder, and Jump. It's nice that we don't have to search for Thunder. And we start with the Braft, the Hammer, and the Magic Key. So we can already be digging palaces. Oh, we found a medicine cave already. Or not, yeah. That's what this is. I would not dip here at level 111. But Jack is diving right in with his 1 life. And we'll see if he gets anywhere with it.
Well, it doesn't look like he has downstab.
They do have upstab, but not downstab.
Yeah, I just saw Xarnax stab upward, so... convenient, possibly, but... Oh, that pea bag at the end of the cave. Value Town, so we'll see a couple early levels come through.
Yeah, well, now they've got levels that would have been nice to have in this cave. Xarnax is almost through. He didn't take his death until the Jaldarm at the very end of the cave.
Found it. And there's the 500-point P-bag for Xarnax. Looks like Jackimus finding another cave straight away and opting to get right in there.
Yeah, this one's much easier to get through. So if you're going to go through the first one, certainly not going to avoid any of the remaining caves in the west.
Well, looks like a magic jar for Jackimus.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Xarnax is probably going to...
Thunder castable in...
I think Thunder was 80 something. So, not quite castable yet.
Okay, so probably a magic level, if not another magic jar showing up, should make Thunder a very viable option. It looks like Jackimus just going to use the hammer and go right to it.
Yep.
Skipping over a forest tile.
Yeah, the forest tiles aren't extremely valuable, and especially in the west. There's no chance that Begu is going to be required, really. I mean, I should say virtually zero chance that Begu is going to be required, since they've got the hammer and easy access to the south.
Well, it looks like Jackimus found the raft spot, still choosing to stay on the western continent and explore. Can't really disagree with that, and we'll come across a town.
He's got jump, but he's not going to... Okay, now he's going to go get his down stab.
Alright, so it looks like Jackimus gonna unlock four-way fighting here. Already starting with up, left, and right. Now it's time to get the down.
Yeah, I hate when you don't get left or right.
Yeah, if you don't get left or right at the start of a randomizer seed, you know there's a problem. And quite the sage advice from the Swordmaster. Stick 'em with the pointy end.
So it looks like Jack is not hunting hints. He did not... Oh, he's not even going to talk to the medicine lady to see what hint or where her item is located. I think he might have last played this really before hints existed, so he might not really be up with the whole hint system. Oh wow, that is a really quick spectacle rock there.
Oh, and another magic jar. So Jackimus unlocking Thunder. Let's see if he starts to put it to some use and potentially just clear out enemy groups by using Thunder.
I think that 500 point P-Bag that Xarnax found, I guess it doesn't necessarily guarantee, but it sure looks like we're going to be a little short on heart containers in the end. Both of these guys can definitely beat the game with just 5 if they have to.
Oh, so helmet head guards the thing, I saw.
Yep. So that means that the magic item that she needs is going to be in the palace too.
Yeah, I didn't actually see what it was that helmet head was guarding.
The trophy. That's the people who give you spells always give you the hint for their spell item.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, if those hints are turned on. Oh, there's the medicine. Apparently, Jack didn't need the hint, I guess.
Oh, he just knew. Okay. Ooh, gonna take a death there, though.
Yeah, it's just warping him back into the front of the cave. Oh, I guess at Magic 2, you could cast Thunder with 5 jars.
Yeah, it doesn't look like you have much left over, but getting one cast of Thunder in, if you're kind of in trouble, you can just kind of hit the big red button and try to blow everything up on the screen.
Yeah, Xarnax just wanted to get that level before he upgraded.
Whammy for Jackimus, finding Palace 4, possibly the one palace that he cannot do.
Yep. Well, now he's in Palace 5. Is he gonna go in there? No, I think he's gonna hold off just a little bit. I would not go in there.
So a little early for dungeons, or excuse me, palaces, or do you start considering Palace 1 as an example, if you so happen to find it?
Oh yeah, 1 or 2 you go into immediately.
Okay.
The fact that they have the magic key, definitely pushes them into a palace. Xarnax is talking to Begu. I don't know if he's realized that he has the hammer. No, he knows he has the hammer because he broke that rock.
Yeah, he went into one of the hammer caves.
Yeah. Wait, is he in the south now? Maybe he's already in the south. And Jack, not remembering that he has the magic key, goes and gets that key. It's tough to remember all the items that you start with. I forget constantly.
Jackimus bailing out. Interesting. Possibly forgetting that thunder may have been an option as well to get through those chain-wielding enemies. Of course, their name escapes me at the moment.
I don't even remember which enemy he died to.
The dark red things that flip the little chain mail thingies. Like the ball and chain things. Oh, and Jackimus just heading off to the eastern continent. Figured out what palaces are on the west, so it looks like Jackimus possibly hunting for Palace 1?
Yeah, there's some easy items to get here in the east as well, so he definitely wants that glove. It's possible that Palace 2 could be glove blocked, and you'd want to, I think, get the glove before you go into Palace 5 so that you know whether you need to hunt the item in there or not.
Oh, looks like Jackimus finding Death Valley.
Oh, yeah, and he's found a Death Valley encounter. That was just a grass tile in the east there.
Oh no, Jackimus. Oh, finding a little trip to the sauna there.
Oh, he got out of there just barely. Grief. So don't take any grass encounters if you can help it. I don't think Xarnax found the Death Mountain entrance that leads directly to Spectacle Rock yet. Alright, looks like Jack's gonna skip these encounters here. Oh, swamp encounter. It's better than Valley of Death, but it's kind of tough to make it through on this amount of health that he has here. He's gonna have to skip this one too.
Oh, we missed it.
Yeah, he doesn't know about the slash your sword 4 times thing either. Oh man, he just missed that skip.
Oh, and he takes a large enemy, so I guess it's still better than trying to have to go... Oh no, he takes a death anyway. That's a game over for Jackimus.
Yeah, that's painful. Yeah, it looks like life was about 50, so it took barely over half of his whole magic bar to cast life at his current level.
Unfortunately, he's got 96 magic with the 6 bottles right now. So if something costs 50, unfortunately, that only goes in once, and a little unfortunate for Jackimus that life is not castable twice. It's almost on the same level as Thunder, where you get one cast of one spell and just kind of hope for the best.
Yeah, he'll get the life will go down in cost though.
Yeah, Xarnax picking up the downstab.
Yeah, and Jack gets his attack 3. That's good for him. Xarnax is definitely a bit behind at this point, I would say, just because Jack has done quite a bit more exploration. Xarnax took a little bit further to get through the initial cave. But Xarnax does have a slight level advantage, I guess. He's got that extra life level. And we get the shield spell from that medicine. So that's not great.
Yeah, the wizard there saying, "You know nothing." I find that to be humorous.
Well, there's the flute. I don't think Xarnax found that yet.
Not to my knowledge, no. Jackimus, the first to find the flute. But, that could be, marginally useful or completely useful, depending on where either Three-Eyed Rock and or the River Devil are situated.
Yeah, we really don't know if that's going to be required at this point. It's about 50-50.
We've not had a River Devil sighting while Jackimus was on the Eastern Continent, nor have we seen Three-Eyed Rock.
Right, and I don't think we saw any of the palaces besides the Valley of Death one, so...
Well, we saw a palace in Valley of Death. We still do not know which one it is.
Right. Point being, we don't know if... we haven't confirmed that Three-Eyed Rock doesn't exist yet, so...
Well, it'll be interesting because we're going to have one palace in the Valley of Death, one in Maze Island, and two more, one of which will be the Great Palace, since we already know what's on the Western Continent. So I believe it's 1, 2, 3 in Great Palace.
No, 1, 3, and 6 are in the east.
1, 3, and 6. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, 2, 5, and 4 are in the west. Looks like Jack is going to go ahead and jump into Palace 5 here at least a little bit. And Xarnax is heading east. He did not get that flute that we are aware of. It's possible that we missed it, but neither us nor the tracker seems to have seen it, so...
No, I don't recall Xarnax being into that particular area.
Oh, hey, this is something I don't think Jack saw. There's a new pseudo here, and he's going to get the item right away. He's not talking to the lady for the hint, though. It's interesting. Jack?
It's these guys that Jackimus just nuked with fire.
Yeah. I think there actually might be called Gumas as well.
Xarnax picking up the item. Let's see, no spell, so we can't check the spell tower.
Yeah, unless he gets it right here. He's about to get that spell. Jack has reached a dead end. I did not see what that was. Was it fire? Maybe it is fire. I don't know why he used that there when he could have used it on the next screen to see. And now he's got a... Yeah, you don't have enough magic to cast that again, Xarnax. Now he's gonna have to go refill his magic so he can go back to the end of the thing and then check it to see if it is spell.
Well, it's not fairy. It did not look like it was jump.
Oh, I think it could be spell, but he's not checking it. It is. I don't know why he's not considering it. That's weird. Anyway, he's found Palace 1. That seems much more nice, appealing to clear than Palace 5. Alright, let's pull out that thunder. Oh, he got him. That was a solid jackhammer right there.
Jackimus just looking at this endless buffet of... oh no, he tries to jump across and gets denied. So a trip to the sauna again for Jackimus as Xarnax finds the item.
It's just a cross.
Oh, you say that up until you get bonked by a invisible Moa out of nowhere.
Xarnax gets his attack 4, and then he's up nays, which makes perfect sense. Jack takes an up nay again after finding another dead end, and Xarnax is off to look for Horsehead to probably get our first gem placement, I would imagine, but maybe Jack gets really lucky here and finds the way to the boss before Xarnax does. Pretty unlikely based on the number of rooms left in these palaces.
Well, the degree of difficulty is pretty severe for Jackimus, whereas Xarnax, being in Palace 1, much easier time of things, but Jackimus finding the item, and that's the trophy.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, and he's gonna just head on out of there. I guess that makes some sense. Maybe the real thing that you wanted to know was, like, is the glove in Palace 5, because that gives you a huge advantage. The trophy is unlikely to be required, but it's possible that it could be, especially if it leads to spell.
Well, spell or reflect?
Spells blocking the glove, maybe. Well, reflect would be nice to have, because that would give you an easier palace to clear in Palace 4, but it's not required since they only have to place 5 gems.
Yeah, I mean, I get that it's not required, but would you rather go into Palace 4 or Palace 5? If you had the choice of, all things considered, right now, would you try to knock out Palace 5 from consideration? Or just go, oh, well, I'm not going to try to get Reflect. I have Thunder, so, I'll just forget about it on Palace 4. I'm going to put you in the mind of the runners here. Like,
no, for sure. If you get Reflect, then you take advantage of that fact.
I mean, would you be trying to go out of your way to get Reflect, or...
No.
Okay. So, if Reflect presents itself, like, with the trophy right now, then okay, I'm done with Palace 5, I'm gonna go into Palace 4.
Yeah. I wonder if... I think Jack is trying to find where to turn in that trophy, and... Oh, he's turning that medicine first, because he hasn't done that yet. And so he's gonna get his shield spell. I don't know if he remembers where Trophy Town is, but we'll see if he does that.
Uh-oh.
Xarnax. Oh yeah, his
technical difficulty here.
I wonder if he's tried powering off, blowing the card a bit.
Xarnax looks to be pulling into the pits, unfortunately, with a technical issue. Jackimus getting the shield spell. So if he's able to turn in that trophy, he'll reveal some new information.
Yeah. I'm really curious what Xarnax is doing in this in these menus. I would think it's just like a physical problem, but I guess you should know his card better than I do.
And Jackimus looks like he's gonna go into Palace 1 now, following Xarnax's footsteps. Oh, Jackimus looked like he used Thunder there, and that Iron Knuckle was having none of it.
Well, it definitely reduces health by half or more.
Oh, there we go. Xarnax, I think, powering off. So,
okay, there he goes. This looks much better. I don't know why he didn't just do that immediately. What is he doing? Why is he in here? Oh.
Oh no.
Oh, he lost his file?
Oh, that would be absolutely brutal.
Hang on. Why is he not going to Randomizer? Oh, okay. No, I think this is it. This looks like it, and he's good. Okay. Yeah, that was unfortunately a lot of time lost for Xarnax, but at least it did not cost him
the whole race, the whole bracket, everything, just from a technical malfunction like that.
Yeah.
Definitely not the way I would want to go out.
I don't see a whole lot of upside, though, to coming back to the West here right now.
Well, Xarnax didn't really have much of a choice in the matter, since...
Yeah, no, I was just trying to look for some silver lining for him, but, like if he had a trophy to turn in or something like that. But, oh, maybe he'll get the flute right here, perhaps, because I think he did miss that before. Is he going to go into Palace 2, maybe? No?
Well, it looked like he was heading that way. Well, here we go. No, that's Palace 4. No reflect for that one, so...
Is he gonna go for it with the item anyway? Maybe? No?
No, just plonked the Iron Knuckle and said, no, not interested. No, this, I believe, is Palace 2.
I think it's actually 5. Yeah, this is 5.
5, okay. So,
Xarnax may feel behind and may feel like he needs to dig the item now or something. Or he's gonna go right instead, which just leads immediately to Guma. What the heck? How did Jack not see this? Xarnax loves fighting Guma at a low level, so I'm sure he does not mind these levels. Probably should cast Life, I would say, but here we go. Life spell is giving 4 bars today, which is pretty nice.
Well, he's got 2 more hits, unfortunately, with what he has available. Not going to be able to cast it again, I don't think. Ooh!
Yeah, he's good.
Xarnax able to take down Boss Guma, so that's going to be 2 palaces for Xarnax.
I'm really curious that Jack didn't see Guma. Maybe Jack might have only been digging left for the item and didn't realize that the boss was this close. Surely he would have given
Literally one room in.
Yeah. I think he might have only been taking lefts to look for the item.
So Jackimus getting fire and, of course, testing it.
Yeah.
We got a nice little screen flash, which could mean a bunch of things. So we'll see if Jackimus found his spell, as it could be linked to fire. Oh, that's a negative.
Okay. So it's either reflect or thunder. Could be thunder. It'd be really nice to see like Xarnax tested out in that fight right there. It'd be a great place.
Xarnax, I think, may not remember that fire is a thing. It's much more likely Jackimus would randomly test fire just to see what exactly he has. If this is what leads to reflect, does that put Palace 4 on the table for Jackimus?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, looks like Maze Island for Jackimus.
Well, this is, let's see. That's Great Palace. But we got 2 items here to get. We really need that glove.
Well, there's food.
Not gonna say no to that. It could certainly be required as well. Is Jack gonna... Yep, it's time to take advantage of those boots we got already.
Ooh. That's a little rough. Trying to get around the encounters and catches another one.
Yeah, we could see. We'll see if how much of this area is blocked off by encounters. Looks like it could be quite a bit. But there's no reason not to check the other directions. Oh, does Jack go through there just for those spots? There's a whole bunch more spots up to the top. And there it is. There's the item. His patience paid off.
Alright, so let's see what we end up finding here. Both items accounted for, and unfortunately, I guess, since it's not a glove, finding a 500-point P-bag.
Yeah. Yeah, the glove is the main attraction here. So Jack is just gonna head on back out of here and continue exploring the east. Let's see if he goes back to that water tile, now that he's got the boots.
Oh. Oh, we've checked fire.
What was fire?
It looks like a lot of things just exploded, so we have
No.
fire, thunder.
Oh, I think that was thunder. I don't think that was fire.
Well, yeah, fire is linked to thunder.
But he cast thunder.
Oh, did he cast thunder? It looked like he cast fire.
I'm pretty sure he cast... Oh, fire is thunder? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Alright, fair enough. Oh, Jack is casting fire. Xarnax has forgotten. I don't think Xarnax has cast fire yet. But,
Well, he couldn't cast fire there. Not enough power. But
well, Xarnax just cast thunder just a little bit ago. So,
well, now he's using fire and just fire and brimstoning everything into oblivion. But unfortunately, taking a game over, trying to get through the Death Valley.
yeah, just like Jack did before him, I guess.
But both of our runners know that fire is linked to thunder, so we could see some interesting potential abuses here.
Xarnax is really mystified by where the trophy cave is, I think, and where that flute was. Because
Oh,
there's
we
just
have a
no
River
reason to
Devil
go
sighting
through
on
Jump
Jackimus
Cave.
time.
This is a bad sign for Xarnax that he's spending his time doing this.
And it's unfortunately just a pass-through, so Xarnax back to the Eastern Continent.
Yeah, we had already seen the other side of that. He'll go. Oh, Jack has found an item cave in the east. This is the first one of these we've seen. And another magic container. Won't say no to that. You can cast Fire Thunder even more, but
Well, this puts 2 castings of life on the table if you find yourself in a pinch against a boss.
yeah. And Jack is at Magic 5. Life has already gone down in cast anyway. It only casts 40. So could be cast twice with.
And Xarnax won his all-expense-paid trip to Maze Island, where the Great Palace awaits.
Important news, Jack has found the glove on the desert tile in the east, so that's pretty much go mode.
Possibly reflect for Jackimus as a quality of life, but he can complete all of the other palaces, as we see the River Devil blocking off an under construction part of Hyrule, not allowing Link into the construction zone.
It's a good safety-minded River Devil, I guess. Yeah, Jack is good to go. Xarnax went through the encounter, so he is going to waste a lot more time up here. He did not just go down to where that other item is, which was just a 500-point P-bag. Jack is in pretty good shape right now. Yeah, you would think that Xarnax would see that. It didn't seem like that desert tile was too out of the way, especially with having the boots. That'll help Xarnax to get there sooner, I think.
Yeah, with Thunder so easily abused, it looks like Jackimus is just going to take his Discount Thunder spell and put it to good use, as I believe Xarnax is on the right path. There we go.
One other thing that's benefiting Jack is that we still haven't seen all the palaces in the east here, so we don't know if the flute is required yet.
Well, if Jackimus comes across Three-Eyed Rock, that gives him a definitive advantage at this point, as he has the flute and would be able to access whichever palace it would be. I guess by default it would have to be...
Man.
Well, let's see, Jackimus is in 3 now?
Yeah, that must be 3.
or
It's 3. There was no flying enemy in that previous room, so it's 3. Looks like Jack doesn't have fast spell casting on with use of pausing to go to fire.
Oh, Xarnax, get on that tile there. No, gonna go water walking.
What? Which tile?
No. There we go.
Yeah, he's still confused about the cave that he missed before, and looking for that. So, hopefully he just puts it out of his mind and explores the east, because that'll give him the glove, and then he won't have to worry about anything in the west anymore. Xarnax really needs to stop worrying about enemies and just go.
So chat pointing out that Xarnax does have a 1 palace lead right now. So Jackimus, even though you could easily say he's potentially ahead, strictly from a measurable standpoint, Jackimus, I would say, is behind 2 gems to 1.
Yeah, I don't really count that gem that Xarnax has as significant in the context of this race, though, because if Jack goes back into 5, which he most likely will, he's going to find the boss immediately. So, like, that is much less time than, like, and Jack is getting his 2nd gem right here. So this gem was much more time consuming than the one that Xarnax missed. So
yeah, so Jackimus, from a measurable standpoint, about to tie the score, but much more likely to finish a 3rd palace before Xarnax at this point.
I guess the one question that's left here is whether Fairy could be required. Because, yeah, it could be required in Palace 6 or in
Great Palace.
Or Great Palace, or a very small chance it's required in Palace 4. That's only ever happened.
There we go. Xarnax found himself a glove.
That's good.
So, gonna check our, Xarnax, just not even bothering to, check what's behind the River Devil, just going, alright, well, there's a River Devil, great.
Yeah. Well, if you have the boots, that it's pretty unlikely that the River Devil in the east is going to be required.
And it looks like we find another spell on Jackimus' side of things.
Oh, Xarnax got the grass encounter. I thought he hit the lava. Yeah, Jack got... Oh, that spell from the trophy. What was it? I didn't see it.
Let's see. Hopefully he opens up his spell list again, but I believe it was Fairy.
Oh, it was Fairy. Okay. Well, that's the last... that's the last required spell that really could have been out there, so that Jack has nothing to look for at this point.
So we toss out Palace 4 for Jackimus, do all the rest of them.
Yeah.
And call it a day at this point.
Yep, he's
of course, Jackimus finding Palace 4.
Yeah, it's hard to remember which palace is which, so...
Oh, very much so, but Xarnax into Palace 3 as Jackimus going the proper direction this time, and he's going to be rewarded with a one-room palace, and looks like Boss Guma versus Jackimus, round 1 fight.
And Jack is really kind of playing it safe here. Not sure why he's not playing it just a little riskier, maybe, but...
Well, Jackimus just got popped by Guma, and it barely cost him a block of health, so I think Jackimus has decided that, okay, I don't really fear the boogeyman anymore, so I'm just gonna jump on his head and get rid of him.
Yeah, Life 6 looks pretty decent. I can't believe we haven't seen either of the remaining 2 palaces in the east yet. Where are they hiding? Or no, we saw one of the palaces. There's only 1 palace left, that's right. We need to find Palace 6 in the east.
Which could potentially be Three-Eyed Rock.
It could, that's true. Which, of course, isn't going to slow Jack down, but it could slow Xarnax down more. So.
And for those late to the race, we have Jackimus versus Xarnax, and this is an elimination race. The winner will move into the bracket stage, while the loser will unfortunately be eliminated from the tournament in the group stage. And Jackimus back into Palace 2, it looks like. Trying to potentially extend the lead that he's now gained by finishing Palace 3 and 5 in very short order, while Xarnax trying to play a little game of catch-up, trying to finish Palace 3.
You certainly waste a lot more time not having fast spellcasting on in a Thunderfire seat than you save by skipping the gems. So. Looks like this room might be required here. So Glove might have been necessary in Palace 2, but I'm not really sure. We'll see if this is the right way or not.
Well, we'll see.
It was not required, so...
Ooh, Jackimus turning around. So Xarnax finding a Revenac. Jackimus trying to retrace his steps and see if he can find the right way. Or the left way. We don't quite know just yet.
So I think something that would really help Xarnax out here is if he takes like a connector and finds Palace 6 in a valley somewhere in the east where it's difficult to get to, and then maybe it takes Jack a while to get there. Xarnax is walking back out of Valley of Death.
Well, not burning a gem and taking a life level, so...
He'll certainly have a level advantage.
Xarnax gonna try to get the encounter skip. Looks like we got one of them. And he nopes out.
Alright. Well, I imagine Xarnax is gonna be heading to Palace 2 shortly as well.
That may well be the case. Both of our runners now on 3 gems dunked, but Jackimus at the end of Palace 2, and Xarnax potentially on his way over to start Palace 2. So Jackimus now with a full Palace lead over Xarnax.
I wonder if Xarnax sees that cave up there that he missed now.
It doesn't look like it. Xarnax...
He might not be... he might have noticed it, perhaps, and is thinking that he doesn't need it anymore. But,
well, with what he has available to him, yeah, it looks like Palace 2 for Xarnax.
Yeah.
So Jackimus is almost certainly headed to the east again. Now it's a matter of For Jackimus's side of things, I'm fairly certain he wants to find Three-Eyed Rock right now on this journey over to the east, because that will almost fully cement a massive lead for him over Xarnax.
Right, it certainly would. Either way, he just needs to find Pal 6. So, Xarnax knew that trophy was there. It's interesting that he went and dug it. But, the fairy could be required yet. In either 6 or in GP, so that trophy could definitely be required.
Well, Jackimus right now does have fairy as well, so it looks like he's gonna deciding not to bog himself down, trying to get to that cave. And we know Great Palace is in Maze Island, so Jackimus won't be heading there. I believe this only dead end. So we'll see what's up in this particular area for Jackimus. This has already been explored.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some of this. Jack has the fairy spell. He could make his life a lot easier by just casting fairy and heading over there that way, but just gonna insist on jumping out for some reason. Looks like this is not the way to go. I think we need a connector. Unless we can go up to the east.
Up to the right?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I believe that's blocked off by the edge of the map. But,
yeah, I think so too, but I'm not 100% sure. So
Jackimus is gonna go back down around. I don't think you could proceed on the left side of this map.
No, you can't.
There's a mountain range there. Is this our mystery? No, that's town. That's another town. We already saw that palace. Might be going for that cave right there, hoping it's a pass-through of some kind. Xarnax finding a dead end in Palace 2, so a little bit of exploring on Xarnax's side.
I'm not sure if Jack ever did get through that.
Well, I think Jack is all but done with Palace 2.
Oh no, he is. I'm just saying I don't know if we ever saw the results of that room. I remember Jack taking the death in that room as well.
Now we see if Jackimus's exploration's gonna net some. Oh no. We've already been down in here, so that's a unfortunate sight.
Yeah, Jack's
Xarnax finding Helmet Head.
So they're gonna be tied in gems, and it's just gonna be a race to find Pal 6. Jack does have a little more knowledge of the east with the caves that he's already gone through, but we'll see. Oh, it looks like Jack might have found a path here. This looks very promising.
Well, there doesn't seem to be, like, literally any other option for Jackimus in the way of being able to proceed anywhere of relevance. So it looks like we have a town as well as, hopefully, Palace 6. Just gonna try to encounter skip through.
couldn't see if there was something to the west there.
It was blocked off by mountains. So we
Well,
have
this is interesting.
a town.
Yeah, Jack is convinced that that town is not required, so he's moving on.
Jack just decided, all right, I'm out.
You know, if he had gotten Reflect there, that would have saved him some time looking for Palace 6, but he's just going to keep looking for Palace 6. So, going back to your point that you had made a long time ago, would you search out Reflect? Maybe at this point I do, because who knows where Palace 6 is?
Well, Jackimus may well have found Reflect in that town, and we already know where Great Palace is. I guess we'll see if Xarnax ends up in that same area and searches out Reflect from that town. That may give Xarnax a little bit of agency to try to reclaim the lead that Jackimus is really trying to hand off to Xarnax here.
Yeah, and on average, Palace 4 is generally much easier to navigate than Palace 6, so could save time in Palace as well. But this is all kind of speculative at this point. It kind of depends on what Xarnax does in the east here.
Well, Xarnax heading down around to the right, which Jackimus already showed us is not all that fruitful. Jackimus trying to find some kind of a pass-through cave. We know we're going to end up in Maze Island, as that's where Great Palace is.
Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Trails. The spell slot for Durunium, no, that's not Durunium, Naburu, is already filled. So, he wouldn't have got a spell in there regardless. He needs either Old Kasuto or the trophy, or not the trophy, the kid, which he can then cash in Darunia for the potential of Reflect. So,
okay, so no spell would be found in that town.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jackimus found the pass-through. He's into a new part of town.
Yeah, this is going to be Old Kasuto up here, so here's a question. Is he going to get this spell? But, you know, he could, but at the same time, he's probably also going to find Palace 6 right here. So,
if it's Reflect, I would almost immediately nope out. Personally, I would go for Palace 4.
It doesn't look like it was Reflect.
Ooh. So we've got to get the child to get Reflect.
Yeah, vanilla Reflect.
The spell. So Jackimus almost certainly gonna have to.
Yeah, he's gonna find Palace 6 right there. Oh, and
it's Three-Eyed Rock.
It's Three-Eyed Rock. That's really bad news for Xarnax, because he's gonna either need to find the flute or the kid, and he's gonna probably just head right into Death Mountain once he gets to this area, I would imagine. Yeah, this. Oh, we're finally gonna see our first fairy feat of the match. Xarnax is about to get the bad news that this is a dead end with nothing useful.
So spell leading to the child is about Xarnax's only saving grace at this point.
And Xarnax is looking like he's going to get even more bad news because he's not realizing the bad news immediately.
Well, he's getting the water.
Alright, I'm gonna take a drink and hold on.
Jackimus taking down one of the mini-boss Rebenax in Palace 6, while Xarnax... Oh, he's in a bit of a rough spot here, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Xarnax didn't take the right way immediately. There is still an item cave in the east we haven't seen, I think. Yeah, I don't think we've seen the one that where the stairs go up. So that could be where the kid is, too. That would be just as good of a solution to this whole thing for Xarnax. But the longer he takes before finding something helpful, the more...
well, the more time Jackimus has in Palace 6 to just simply finish it.
Right. The lady will tell you where the kid is, yes. But Xarnax could just be looking for the flute in the end as well, so... Xarnax is heading towards that cave, probably, so... Wow, that was amazing how that encounter did not go towards him. Yeah, this is the right way to get up to the top, so he's at least going to get some news. I think there might have been a cave up here as well. Well, I'm not sure, but I think there's a good chance that an item cave is up here. So if Xarnax gets the kid up here, that would be his easiest path to being somewhat competitive in the end, I think.
Well, Xarnax is unfortunately going to realize that one way or another he's still a couple steps away and a bit of backtracking away from either Palace 4 or Palace 6. As we now know, the child leads to the Reflect spell, which could open up Palace 4. However, Xarnax gonna get the bad news that he can't go into Palace 6. So let's see if Xarnax, getting the spell here, will then...
Yeah, he might end up going back to Spelltown. Oh, Jack has found Barba.
Alright, so Jackimus finding Barba, as Xarnax is unfortunately going to find some bad news. Three-Eyed Rock, up by where the River Devil is, so... Xarnax hopefully going to be able to figure it out that, 6 ways to Sunday, Xarnax is pretty much screwed.
Xarnax put a lot of thought there into whether he wanted to get the item out of there. Oh yeah, oh man, Jack had Barba almost all the way dead and then takes a death. If Jack dies again... Oh, he did have him dead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say if he dies again, that could be a little window for Xarnax, but he did not have any really chance to die there. So Jack has placed his 5th gem, and he's gonna head over to Great Palace eventually.
Yeah, so Xarnax basically hoping that the child is here.
Yeah, that is certainly his easiest path to get his last gem.
Because then Xarnax can turn it in for Reflect and try to get into Palace 4.
And the kid could be in Palace 4 as well, too. We have not seen the item there. And he gets a 500 point P-Bay. So there is...
Xarnax, I'd have to immediately up an A at this point, wouldn't I?
Yeah, I don't see any real benefit to walking over this cave.
I mean, he's not going to get 1,800 points to get to that next level.
No, if he does, he's got some more problems.
I guess You gotta commit, I guess, to just exploring this whole area. You're gonna find a bunch of, this is a problem. Xarnax has gotta launch a Hail Mary at this point. He's gotta up an A at this point. Go back to, Spell Town. Or, New Kasuto, excuse me. As 102.45, Jackimus is into Great Palace.
Yeah, the spell tower in New Kasuto is certainly an appealing option for Xarnax. That's where I would be heading. Jack in the Jackimus room decides to play it straight.
So at this point, Xarnax is just, unfortunately, tick-tock goes the clock, and the more time Jackimus has in Great Palace to potentially explore, the less likely Xarnax is going to be able to manage a comeback here.
Yeah, so, this was a really close race that really got made unclose by that three-eyed rock. Let's recap here a little bit for those who didn't see. Xarnax had two big issues in this race. One is that he missed a cave in the west that had the flute, which is required, and he also spent some time researching for that cave and never found it. Two is that Xarnax had like his power pack corrupt, and he had to save, and he maybe spent 5 minutes trying to fix that. So
I don't know if it was 5 minutes, but even
it was several.
Yeah, I mean, let's say even 3 at this point. Well, here's the moment of truth for Xarnax. He'll be given a lifeline here if the child is in this spell tower. Oh no.
And it is not.
So Xarnax has to go back to the Western Continent to get the flute at this point.
Or go into Death Mountain or Palace 4, or you know what? The kid could be in Palace 6. He could go to Darunia and get the hint for the kid. Jack has found Thunderbird.
Well, we don't know if Thunderbird's required, but unfortunately Thunderbird's going to win round 1. No, we have Thunder. Link to Fire. I was thinking, oh yeah, you're not going to be able to cast Thunder. Huh, silly me.
That's all they've done this season. At least the second half.
That's so very true.
But Thunderbird did win round 1.
Yeah, Jackimus still a little low on resources, so Thunderbird a little bit surprising, but up 1-0 on Jackimus here.
Did Jack cast Shield?
Yes, he did.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say he must have at this point. Can't cast Reflect because he does not have that. We know that it's behind the kid, so... Is this the cave that Xarnax missed? It might be one cave
point,
that...
I really lost track of which cave is which.
I thought that I thought the flute was in Trophy Cave. Yeah.
I found a pea bag, so definitely not it. But Thunderbird served up an L for the rematch, so Jackimus clearing the hurdle of the Thunderbird. And of course being immediately presented with a drop room, so... oh boy.
I like how Jack started the menu to fairy there to save himself, and then maybe realized that it was hopeless and just stopped at shield.
At least he won't have to deal with Thunderbird again, but having to start back over, with the way things are set up, there's no guarantee that Thunderbird is required, is there?
No, there isn't, and that's why Jack is going down now. I would certainly do the same thing. Xarnax is rechecking caves that he's already been in at this point.
Well, Jackimus found himself a dead end, so
yeah, that's not surprising.
Thunderbird was the right way.
It certainly might be necessary. It's unusual for these max rando seeds. I think we found that Thunderbird is required only between like 10 to 20% of the time, maybe, in our small sample size.
Wow.
Left at start. Oh, I was confused. What I was responding to. So that was.
At the start of Great Palace?
Yeah, I didn't see that there was a left available there, but makes sense. That's certainly something that I would try. Jack not going for the jar there. I would have given it a stab, I think. It might have been.
Xarnax just going for the YOLO here in Palace 4.
Oh, he's just gonna see if the flute... Oh, well, he needs the flute, too. So either the flute or the kid could be in here, for sure. And then if he's doesn't find what he needs in here, he might end up going into...
Well, Xarnax has two options. The child will lead him to be able to finish Palace 4, and the flute, which we know is not here, would lead him to be able to go into and finish Palace 6.
Oh, Jack found a different route to the fairy room there. So we know that Thunderbird is not required. That's what we just learned now. But
look at what Xarnax finds. That's the child.
Oh, all right. Well, his path to victory is going to be a little different than Jack's.
Well, unfortunately, Xarnax just maybe a little too far behind the required double dip into Palace 4 after all that time wasted.
Yeah, if he had found that kid 15 minutes ago or more, then he might have a chance here. But Jack is really clearing out a lot of Great Palace here, so certainly the odds-on favorite by a healthy margin. Xarnax is going to have better levels, though, so if Jack continues to take game overs, that is just going to bode better and better for Xarnax.
Well, Xarnax is not out of it. Not until we find Dark Link on Jackimus' side. But like you said, I think the saying is the chances are pretty close to slim and none, and I think Slim just about ready to leave town.
Jack taking another death. It's down to one life to finish this. Xarnax is
So
Heading to Palace 4 now. We'll see how
has
easy
Reflect,
Palace 4 is.
so that'll open up Palace 4 to be finished. And we have some wise ass in chat saying left at start could lead immediately to L7 drop or a paperclips room straight to Dark Link. I don't know what village is lacking its idiot, but please return trails to proper village, please.
Oh,
Get him out of here.
that's man. That looks like a dead end too.
Yeah, Jackimus finding another dead end.
I guess he must have a different way that he can go. I didn't take note of it, but I guess I believe him.
Well, Thunderbird had a dead end right behind it, right?
No. The Thunderbird had a drop behind him, and then that led to the ferry room, and then we saw the.
Well, we saw the ferry room before from a different approach.
Right. Yeah, we just saw that now. So we'll see what happens here.
So Xarnax got a bit of work cut out for him, but Jackimus again trying to do his best to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory here. But it looks like another drop for Jackimus.
Xarnax is really pulling out all the stops here, ferrying across there. And I think if you're playing this straight up, you normally just take that fall immediately. I would want to check this real quick, though, before taking the second fall, just in case. Man, but now I think I would go back and take that fall. I think that Jack's on the right path, and
oh yeah,
yes, there is Dark Link.
So Jackimus is onto the Dark Link fight, which unfortunately is all but going to spell the end for Xarnax here. Jackimus just moments away from finishing and moving on into the bracket stage, as Xarnax has found Parrot. But unfortunately for Xarnax, Jackimus is going to be our first place finisher of this particular race with a time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 9 seconds. So let's get those GGs in the chat for Jackimus, who with this victory will be able to move on. And it looks like Xarnax maybe just deciding, alright, well, I'm done, so may as well finish out the seed. Unfortunately, Xarnax, with this loss, will be eliminated.
Jack is going to join us for an interview shortly. I don't know if he knows his way into this Discord or not, but we'll get him in here soon.
I think the proper way is to go left at the start. And there we go. I believe that intruder alarm informed us that Jackimus is with us in the chat right now.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Hey, GG Jack.
Thanks, Cobra. How you doing today, bud?
Just regretting the morning, but I'm okay. How about yourself?
Doing all right. Just snacking on some nachos and hummus, and talking to you fine folks after I raced a thing.
Yeah. Congrats on making the bracket now.
Yeah, I guess I did. Is there another week of this, or is this the last one until the bracket, or?
Now there's just 4 weeks.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess 2 wins and you're in, so that's all right.
Yep. So, do you have any idea what was probably the biggest thing that won you this race?
Maybe noticing that fire was linked to thunder and spamming that everywhere?
You did notice that maybe a minute before Xarnax did.
Yeah.
I think that Xarnax actually got fire first, but he didn't go and try it at the end of Spelltown, which I thought was weird. And then, yeah, I think you did, but then...
No, Xarnax did, but we had no idea what it was at the time.
He didn't. He tried it in the cave.
Yeah.
He tried it with the in the place where the old man gives the spell, but he didn't try it until again at the end of the town to see if it was spell.
I was thinking whenever it ended up not being spell when I tried it at the end of the town that it was linked to reflect, because apparently when I had used thunder a couple times to get out of a tough spot, I never actually swung my sword after that. So I thought, there's no way it can be tied to fire.
Yeah, it's hard to remember to swing your sword to check spells to see if they're linked to fire.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe figuring out that you needed to go through some pass-through caves to get to Palace 6 towards the end?
Well, it was Palace 6 that I would say was the biggest toil luck, but it wasn't really finding it. I think Xarnax probably found it faster than you did once you got to that point. But Xarnax never found the flute.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Yeah, the flute, you basically needed either the flute or the kid to complete your last palace, so yeah, that's rough.
Yep, and do you know where the kid was?
No idea.
Yeah, it was actually in Palace 4.
Aha! Lovely.
So
that's a bit of a troll right there.
That's what Xarnax ended up doing. Hopping into Palace 4 for either the flute or the kid, and he found the kid, so he finished Palace 4, and now he is on his way. It looks like he is on the right path in GP. So, really, I think that he spent a lot less time in palaces than you did, but he spent way too much time on the overworld, and he also had a little incident where he had some huge graphical errors, and he had to save and power off and stuff, and that cost him a few minutes.
Oof. That's never fun in the middle of a race.
Yeah, wow. But it looks like Xarnax has found Dark Link as well.
Hey, right on.
That's way closer than I expected.
I'm guessing he's going to fight him straight up here. Let's see what happens.
Dang.
Oh, just corner stabbing. Oh.
Oh no, Xarnax going for it. Getting a little frisky there with this little cat fight. Now with the life 7 just not taking very much damage at all. And there we go.
So Xarnax about 6.5 minutes behind exactly. Okay, we have a few more minutes to interview, but we're going to need to get moving on here. I think there's something scheduled for 1:30ish, or not 1:30. I guess 3:30 Eastern. So, but hopefully Xarnax can join us. Yeah. not see him around yet.
All right.
Any thoughts on the bracket, Jack? Are you feeling more comfortable now with everything playing this game again after such a long layoff?
I've just been getting more and more confident with each race that I've done over the last 4 weeks, honestly. It's kind of like falling off a bike. It's all coming back to me, and I just want to take a moment to thank you and Trezco there for telling me to lower my bit rate, and now my stream isn't a slideshow, so that's fantastic.
Oh yeah, it was really good the whole time. Anyway, Xarnax has joined us. GG Xarnax.
Hey, thanks. GG, Jack. Well played.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Good race there. Heard you had a little graphical problem there. I don't know what the time difference was, but if that cost you, man, you know, like, we can reverse that if you think that's more fair. That's cool with me.
It's really hard to say. I probably would have made some different decisions. It would have been close for sure. I didn't expect to be this close after all that happened, and then after all the other bad luck I had. It started glitching out right when I entered Reflex Town, and so then I just immediately saved to make sure I could make a save file before it hard locked. And so I don't know if I had walked through that town and gotten the hint for the child, I would have saved a lot of time. I don't know that I would have made the decision to do that even if that graphics hadn't been an issue.
Oh yeah, hints. I keep forgetting hints exist in this now.
Yeah, but you can keep the win. You earned it.
Yeah, I don't think it was quite 6.5 minutes that you spent with that.
Well,
getting the hint for the child certainly would have made a difference.
Right.
Yeah, I think that what cost you the most time, though, might not have even been that. Might have been missing something else. Do you know what and where it might be?
It wasn't the glove, was it?
No. Well, I mean, you did get the glove after Jack, but it wasn't by that long.
I'm trying to remember. I know it was. Oh no, I was thinking Heart Container Cave. You must be talking about the boots.
No.
Negative.
The thing that you never got.
Oh, the thing I never got, the flute.
Yeah, that was just the last cave in the west. That. You just never found that last. Somewhere on the west side of the southern part of the Western continent.
It was in Trophy Cave, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was definitely Trophy Cave. I got to the point where I was like, maybe I was in Trophy Cave and I just forgot to mark what I got because I couldn't find it, and I didn't want to waste time. I covered most of the Western continent. I didn't want to walk the entire continent again looking for something I may not have even missed. So yeah, that was. It was probably 30 minutes before the race ended when I was like, okay, I need to find either Trophy or the kid. I'm not Trophy, Reflect Spell or the kid. Reflect Spell. I need to find the kid or the flute. The kid for Reflect.
There you go. Third tries a charm.
Yeah, I need flute for 6 and I need a kid for 4. So.
Yeah. Well, you played really well. Your exploration was pretty good, and your palaces were good. And it was just those couple of things that really held you back and made the difference, I think.
Yeah.
You might want to.
The other.
Go ahead.
What's that?
Go ahead.
The one other thing that really was frustrating was after I reset the game and fixed the glitch, I was like, okay, I'm way behind now. I need to start making some gambles. And every time I was about to do something, I was like, the odds on this are so low, I should just keep doing normal. So one of the first things I almost did was just dive into 4, just to see if there was an item in there that was helpful.
Yeah.
And then I talked myself out of it. and that, I mean, if I had done that at that point, that would have been a smooth sailing from there.
Guys, I hate to
Yeah.
intrude, but I kind of need to cut
No
here.
worries.
All right, that's cool.
All right,
Let's,
I guess
let's
we're
give it
done.
up.
Yeah,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you all
Good
for
time.
watching.
Thanks, guys, for the race.
Thank you all for watching. GG to Jacob, to Frico, and to Jinxie for doing the volunteering. GG to Jackimus and to Xarnax. And we'll be back with more D2R bracket stuff soon, as I think this was the finals first round. So yeah, thanks all for watching. Thank you for volunteering, guys, and we'll see you next race.
Let's go, Bruins.